You're inside the Capitol building. What's in there?
And you know what? China, I'm going to tell you right now, you young China men and women, rise up, have the fear of God, and rise up and take your country back. You can do it. I am telling you right now.
Those are words of sedition. That's
you
right.
hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeshua HaMashiach. Rise up, China.
Whoa.
Rise up, America. Rise up the world and go back to greatness. Go back to humanity. Go back to loving one another. Go back to freedom. So this is my message. Stop the steal.
Okay. It's up there, huh? All right.
That vibration.
It's
Bro.
twice, bro. They said it, the Israelites that were there said it.
Walked by and said it. Yeah.
She said it. And she said it, you know, she's from Yeshua.
Yeah.
But she know it ain't in English.
Yeah. So Yeshua Mashiach.
I have 30 dead bodies in my backyard in Massapequa Park. 30 dead bodies from immigration. All those caravans you saw, they came to violent rights out of fucking Long Island, New York. All those fucking caravans, they destroyed my school system. I gotta send my kids to fucking private school, or they fucking destroy public school. His immigration policy is why he won. This does not belong to the world immigrants. It belongs to the racist, xenophobic, sexist offspring of the men who created it. That's who it belongs to. I don't give a fuck about
Somebody already got shot.
I don't like about immigration should have ended 20 years ago. Because of immigration, we lost 6 fucking states because of immigration. But the thing is,
Esau throwing a big tantrum.
Yeah, let all these motherfuckers into our country. Immigration is hurting our country.
you can't find me one dog in that fucking country.
Man, you about to lose it all, bro.
And they're reproducing like roaches. Like fucking roaches. And how can you fucking disagree with Trump? I don't care. Those kids grow up to vote blue. This man's my fucking laws. No, you're not American. They aren't Americans either. Immigration Act of 1790. Only white men of good standard can be a U.S. citizen.
Wow.
White men of good standard.
If you ain't white,
Yes.
and you're not patriotic, you're a Native American citizen.
Christians. Yes.
Well, let it.
Listen.
to see a canister go off and tear gas and shit. Smoke grenades. And as soon as you start hearing that, you already know it's a good time of year.
What do you think Trump is doing? He's probably like, it's good. You know how you do like this. It's good for that. How is Sleepy Joe gonna handle this?
He probably gonna be like, well, shit, I'm not president no more. Let the president of
Concede now, finally concede and shit hits the fan.
United States doesn't belong to the world's immigrants. It belongs to the racist, sexist, xenophobic offspring of Reagan.
We've been prophesying about this was going to go down. Plenty of scriptures on this.
They're right at the front door.
Esau pissed. They cover me. They feed Mr. Froze up.
Audio's still going.
Yeah.
Smoke alarms off and shit. Cigarette butts in there. Pull a couple scripts, bro, if you want. It's rolling anyway.
Going up.
Yeah, might well.
Well.
I mean, this isn't live right now, but
Yeah.
you know, might as well.
Well, just to you already know a scripture I'm gonna start with. Hey, first and foremost, call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Hey man, this is beautiful, man. The times that we're coming into and what we're witnessing, what we're seeing, you know, hey, this is, hey, was that Sirach 25 and 7? You know,
see the fall of his enemies.
he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. That's exactly what we're witnessing, man.
Yep.
You
This
know?
man's going out in a tantrum.
Yeah.
This man's going out in a tantrum. He's going out kicking and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he said he would come down with great wrath, because he knows he have but a short time. And he's watching it crumble right before his eyes.
Yep.
It's going to get worse and worse as time goes on.
That's it.
Like, let me read it right quick, right?
Yes, Sirach 25.
Yeah, Sirach 25, verse 7 says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's...
We never thought this man would go down.
Yeah. And we're finally witnessing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
That's right.
All right, and this is, you know, we're in the midst of a power transition. Mm-hmm. You know, when there's a transition of power, you know, this is what comes with that. You know, you know, you're going to experience turmoil. You know, it's going to be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going to be you know, the birth pains that the Lord talked about. You know, travail, distress. You know, and that's what you're seeing with Esau. Esau, he's losing his kingdom, he's losing his power. So he at this point he's like, man, we finna go all out with it.
Hey,
Basically, Trump did this election was the last straw for them.
Yeah, they can't lose nothing else. Hey, because they just lost the whole house. And Trump said it. He said, if we lose this, if y'all don't come out and vote for the Republican candidates come the 5th, which was yesterday, then our country's gone, and we don't think we'll ever be able to get it back. And that's exactly what just happened. They lost the seats. Now it's a Republican, a Democratic ran House. So whatever they want to pass is getting passed.
You're right.
Regardless. So there's nothing, whatever this liberalist, leftist movement is, hey, it's about to go full steam ahead now. I got that one in Second Esdras, and I'm looking at Isaiah 47 also. Okay. Second Esdras chapter 15. I might as well start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And they came in with guns. Hey, every time these Edomites come together, man, they come with guns.
Yep.
You know
that blessing.
They don't know how to deal under other pretenses, under peaceful talks. They don't know about that. Even if they do, they still got some weapon of some sort. And you can tell by the way that they speak, because it's very prideful. It says, verse 16, and that's we said that.
Hey, they talking about there's a standoff at the chamber.
Yeah.
Well, you have the men that's inside, they're barricading themselves inside, and they're trying to protect themselves, and they got their guns drawn, while people are trying to bust through there, man. Somebody already done got shot.
Yeah.
So this thing done already escalated.
It was a chick, he said, got shot in the neck.
Yep.
And she thought she was okay, but blood was flowing out of her womb, out of her neck, out of her mouth, and her nose. I think I have that interview. I didn't get the Israelite part on it.
Nah, we didn't get that.
But
there was a camp that walked by.
Yeah, the camp that walked by prophesying against you guys right in your face. And we talk about the doctrines of these other camps, but as Apostle Tahar makes clear, hey, at least they teach in Israel, and the prophets still got to do what they got to do. Now, the criteria of who gets saved, that's up to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And they did use the name.
Yeah, we did hear that when they walked by. We heard that name.
Yep. There's a little more on this. It says, verse 16. Well, matter of fact, I want to make a point. The sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Because this is how you know that the end of this kingdom is coming to an end. That the destruction, the day of the Lord that's been talked about, that we're right at the doorstep of it. Okay, because this is a sign that people stand up to fight against one another. And this is to go into sedition among men in verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And this is the house that a king and a prince will be in modern day terminology. The modern nobles. Okay, these are the people.
Hill.
Exactly right. You got it.
They didn't push past the barricades and got up in there, man. So they're not regarding any elected official, any higher up. They don't care, man. They're like, no, we want our country back.
That's right. Stop the steal is what they were saying.
Yeah. And it's finna break out, and blood is finna touch blood.
That's right.
That's what we getting ready to see, man.
And how do we know? The scriptures prophesy about it. Okay. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Man, and they basically they taking it, by their own means. They basically they're doing what the hell they want to do. They're gonna do it by the way they see fit.
Yep.
They're not going to be politically correct. They're not going to negotiate. No, we need to, we need to change this shit right now. And if that means blood gotta spill, then that's what it is. But see, this is Egyptian versus Egyptian.
Right.
See, this is a war that Esau has to fight. This ain't you tribes fight. you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is the land of your captivity.
Oh,
You should be rejoicing that your enemies are fighting amongst each other, because that's a sign that they're getting ready to be brought down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but of course you got worldly, jakes, that don't know the truth. They're dragged right into it.
Mm-hmm. I got a sentiment, if I could bring it up in this precept right quick. Mm-hmm. Exodus chapter 1, straight to the point of verse 10. It says, "Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there be a fault, falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land." Mm-hmm. Now, I read that because this isn't you Jake's fight. They're fighting each other. But that would be the wise sentiment to not let you be a part of it, because this is the time where we're already fighting. We're fighting spiritually, though. Mm-hmm. We're not supposed to go out and fight carnally with these people. We're not supposed to be up there inside the Proud Boys doing all that type of stuff with guns and the NFAC. We ain't supposed to be doing that. Right. We're supposed to be just up here prophesying against this place. Yeah, if you're a so-called Negro, so like if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, that's your position and job to do in this country's demise. What you gonna say, Art?
Yeah. This has nothing to do with us. All right, the scriptures say, Micah 2:10, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Mm-hmm. So let these devils fight it out. Mm-hmm. This ain't. We were never meant to be cozy right here. This ain't our kingdom. This isn't our land. We were brought over here to serve punishment in captivity.
That's right.
All right. So if
you got one,
this is Mark 3:24.
Might be the one I was looking for. Yep.
And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Mm-hmm. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And when you read verse 24 in the NLT version, it says, "A kingdom divided it's like a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse."
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing civil war happen. We're seeing you Edomites, Democrats go against you Edomite Republicans. Yeah. They call themselves patriots, but hey, whatever. The point is, the same people fighting against one another because your views aren't matching up the same. Okay, your views of where you want the country to go aren't matching up the same. So there's a problem because they're saying the Democrats have pretty much handed over the keys to this nation to immigrants and to the globalists, which is pretty much true though. Mm-hmm. Sadly enough to say, they're pretty much right about that. That's what's we're in the works of it happening now. Yeah. We're gonna see how legislation and different initiatives get pushed in the near and coming future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Esau's not gonna stand for them to, import, that communist Bolshevik, lifestyle and ideology. Not being able to have, their right to, speak out and have their, because the script, basically they're trying to uphold the Constitution still, even though through these different psyops, that shit has been RIP since damn near 9/11. Yeah. But Esau still believes in that, and he if they can't abide by that, if the government can't abide by what they so-called founding fathers stood by, then basically they're gonna have to fight it out.
And that's the only thing they know. They can't come to an agreement.
Yeah.
They can't do like I read in Exodus 1, where he said, hey, let's get these slaves in order. Mm-hmm. So they we got our own internal issues, but let's get the slaves in order. Nah. Slaves running free, y'all shooting them, in the streets or whatever. But to the point of it, now it's about to be Edomite blood getting spilled by Edomites.
Yep.
And that's the day that they seen us in the book of Lamentation. They seen the day that we were destroyed, and then we seen the day that they're destroying themselves, because all that black on black, black on brown violence and crime that we have been seeing for decades, in my lifetime, hey, now it's starting to turn and be on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, something else.
I was going to mention, and also, this is just history repeating itself.
Yep.
Because remember, this is the last leg of the Roman Empire. You had 6 different civil wars that transformed ancient Rome. Their most influential wars was, wars that they fought amongst each other. You had the Marian Sullan civil wars. You had Julius Caesar. He had a rivalry with Pompey, even though at one point in time they were alliances with each other. They had conflict that led to a civil war. You had Mark Antony and Octavian. You had they skirmish. That caused a civil war. And you had different other the year of the 4 emperors, where you had Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian. And Esau, what he has in common is they're very greedy for power and control. They want all the power, man, to the point that they don't want to see nobody else in power, and that's where all the fighting comes in.
That's right.
You see,
but it's true, because Esau knows how he would act if someone got him up to help him hold up the kingdom. What he would do to that person, he'd overtake him and then stand up there on his own. So he ain't gonna let nobody up there with him to hold down his kingdom, but he can't keep his own people in line on one accord.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me read.
Yeah, this is the end, man. It's over for you, Esau. All right, you're facing terrors on all sides right now. All right, the scriptures talk about the calamities of Esau, and boy, oh boy, you catching it right now, and we're just at the beginning of it, man.
Oh, this ain't it at all.
The Lord, he's just now beginning on your ass, man.
That's right.
All this infighting, the fact that your economy is getting ready to close out, the fact that the people, are not trusting you anymore. All your wicked agendas are being exposed daily, day in and day out. You got the Israelites waking up all over the world prophesying.
They got these truthers out there and whistleblowers that are Edomites. Some of them are Edomites, just snitching on you. Nobody trusts your science no more. The science has said that this Maxine Waters would help everybody, but they don't believe you no more.
Right.
And there's some coons out there that's still trying to make it happen, because they don't want to let this place go. Just like there's a lot of Israelites that didn't want to leave Egypt. They don't want to let this version of Egypt go either. But at the end of the day, it's going. No matter what the prophecy says, it's got to go.
Yep.
All right. I got one in Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And there hasn't been outside war to really touch this place, but internal war, this is the one. Yeah, that earlier civil war was one thing, but this is the one that's going to destroy this place. This is the beginning stones that are being thrown back and forth that's going to destroy the beloved Lady of Kingdoms, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. United States of America. It says, "Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." And that's basically talking about this place is being discovered, man. All its secrets, its inner secrets of how it was such a beautiful place is being uncovered. Yeah. It's being discovered that this place really wasn't ruled by a great man. This was ruled by a base man. Okay, and it's bound to fall.
And it's showing that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. That's when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
That's right.
The people are not happy under your rulership.
Even the Trump people, the country wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Obama, the country wasn't happy. It ain't been happy. You ain't seen this country happy.
Right.
Okay? But you will see the world happy once we take the throne under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. You get to see the truth about this place.
Yep.
Right? It says, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. Mm. I'm going to jump down to verse, and this is the small, like, what's crazy about it, when you think about Yahweh Shai coming back to this place in his glory, he's not coming back the same way he came the first time. Exactly. Not coming back just to come down and just rebuke people. No, he's coming back to execute vengeance on the wicked. Okay? But it's already begun with the vibration of the Holy Spirit, which is the spirit of prophecy in Yahweh Shai, talking about the downfall of this place. So we've already hit you. We're already hitting you on a spiritual level.
Yep.
And then now it's starting to come to pass. That vibration's been pushed so hard now that it's coming to pass that the actual physical collapse has to begin to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's without Yahweh Shai even showing up yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay? He's consuming this place with the spirit of his mouth.
There it is.
Which is the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
We're spiritually we're chatting down the walls of Babylon, just like we did the walls of Jericho.
Yep.
You know, the Lord put it in us to speak. You know, speak this into existence, to speak the destruction and downfall of this wicked place. And now is starting from within, right. From the inside out. Hey, the Lord said He would spread the worms underneath thee, which symbolizes corrosion.
I'm actually holding that too.
Yeah. You know, so you're starting to decay. You know, that soft, tender, delicate woman. You're starting to see that she's getting rusty now, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hit that in Isaiah 14, and I'll go back. Isaiah 14, I'm gonna start with verse 10. It says, "All they that speak and say unto thee, thou art also become weak as we, or thou become like unto us," because we've been seeing this for decades in other countries. Mm-hmm. You know, seditions and different things going up against the government. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, over 20 years. If you go all the way back into the 90s, 30-something years ago, you can see this happening in these other countries where they got tanks on one side, but they're throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails on the other side. Now we're starting to see that type of event happen here in America. It's not just in Venezuela and these other South American countries and some of these European countries and Middle Eastern countries. Now it's starting to happen over here where they thought it would never happen at. Mm-hmm. It said, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Mm.
Your pomp is being brought down to the ground, man. You know, that proud American, you know, spirit, you know, that's being brought down, man. Nothing but shame is being spewed out. You know, when you look up the word pomp, the word is ga'awan, and it says exaltation. You know, majesty, pride, excellence. You know, so the Lord is bringing down your excellency, man. You know, these other countries from afar is looking at you divided and fighting amongst each other, and they like they portray to the rest of the world that they got it in control and they're on top and this and that, but look at them. Look at these people, man. Yeah. Look at their government. Look at how they can't agree on anything. Look at how divided they are. They're in the midst of a freaking civil war.
Now, don't get me wrong. My initial reaction to the presidential election was there was collusion. You know, that it looked like, because I was out working some of the political scene and seeing that there was a lot of Trump supporters out there. But to hear the numbers and the disapproval rate of Trump, when you start to see what it is, hey, okay, so they got that one, okay. But when it came to this one, now you people are just out there whining and complaining now. Now, like, let it go. At this point, let it go. But I know why they don't want to let it go. Because if they let it go, all that Edomite supremacy is out the window. It's gone. Bad enough Barack Obama was the president. Who knows who may be the president next? You know, another real Jake may end up being president before you know it under this guys, but he has to keep the globalist plan in order, though.
Yeah, ultimately the Lord is just stirring them up. He's putting the spirit in them, you know. The Lord wants chaos. He wants disorder. The elites want it. Hey, that's the will of the Most High. He wants disorder. You know, we're in a time of war, not peace. In order for there to be established world peace, it has to be war first. You know, and these other nations, they're looking at America like, man, like this is the perfect time, like Iran, because they're talking about going at it with Iran.
Yeah.
Possibly 2021, it might really kick off with Persia, man. And they're looking at what's going on over here. Something can possibly be done.
Yep.
You know?
Is Sleepy Joe gonna push the button? You know, that's the question. Is he gonna defend the country in that way? You know, we know Trump. As soon as he started talking that to North Korea, the North Koreans put all their missile testing on standby, and then Kim Jong Un got sick. So I mean, hey, you know, he threatened. He said, "I'll blow you shithole countries off the water, off the map," and that was all he had to say about it, right? But now they're seeing the weakness of this country happen. They're seeing the sedition. They're seeing the civil war happen. They're seeing the country divided. This is the weak point. You know, this is when you really get them.
They become weak as we. Yep.
Back in, want me to read that verse?
Which
The one that you just quoted?
the one back in Joel.
And they become weak as we.
Oh yeah, that was Isaiah 14.
Oh, it said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump down to
yeah, and
15.
also when your enemy is fighting amongst each other, when there's a whole heap of problems, within their own yard, that actually makes them vulnerable to the enemy.
It's an art of
The
war.
enemy can actually attack you when you're not focused. You know, so who knows what could possibly follow through while America is in the midst of their clashing and whatnot.
It'd be beautiful if America got shot up right now.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Right.
and I mean, we know it's not going to be the big gun yet,
Nah.
but just something to really kick this thing off. Verse 15, it says, this is Isaiah 14 and 15, it says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" Is this the head of the earth that have been running the earth for all these generations and had the whole world in fear? Well, nobody's scared of you no more. You know, other countries, smaller countries, have some form of a nuke or some type of defense against America's nukes, or a country or something that's backing them, i.e. Russia and those other countries that are being a guard onto those anti-American nations, so to speak.